play right, cause they can't miss. All about the game, that's a cold switch. Serving up the truth, call it ruthless. Tune in and get your fix from Blake and Vish Sports.
I'm actually going to go with Zach Wilson, and he was my favorite quarterback just to watch before the draft. I had him number 2. I wouldn't say his situation is the most ideal, but I'd say it's just definitely an upgrade from anything Darnold had throughout all his years. And I think it's almost unfair to just compare the two situations. The only the only reason it's the same is because it's the Jets. But I mean, when you look at it, they've done their best to upgrade the O-line. Becton, although issues with, I think, weight in camp, still a beast. Elijah Vera Tucker, they took him in the first round. And then their weapons are, I mean, not the best. Like their running back and tight end room leave something to be desired, but they have tons of receiving talent. Elijah Moore's been lighting it up. Mims they took in the second round. Corey Davis. Yep. And then Jamison Crowder, like however many games he's healthy, he seems to always be a beast. When last year there was games where Sam Darnold's number 1 receiver was Braxton Berrios, and you just compare those, and I mean it's night and day. So I'm going with Wilson. I think they're going to be losing a lot, but I think he'll be given the opportunity to pass a lot, and then also just the LaFleur offense, the Mike LaFleur offense. It's going to help a lot. Just very, very easy for quarterbacks. I mean, look at just all the quarterbacks that are in that offense. Stafford's going to be in it now. And then you have, I guess, Rodgers. You have whoever the Niners start, and they always seem to do solid. So I'm going with Zach Wilson.
Yeah, and I also really liked Zach Wilson before the draft as well. I was quite high on him as well. And I think he's a fair pick. So you touched on Becton, right? Becton's been getting his butt handed to him a little bit by Carl Lawson during camp, which could be a good thing because they signed and gave a lot of money to Carl Lawson, who we both really liked before that free agency. Or it could be maybe Becton isn't the same special player that he was his rookie season, though I tend to believe it's more that Carl Lawson is just a beast. In regards to Wilson, you touched on it, right? His offensive line isn't that bad. I'm a big Elijah Vera Tucker fan. I thought he was a very, very good draft pick for them. I understood the uproar about trading up to get a guard, but he's a hell of a football player, so I like that. Becton obviously was phenomenal as a rookie. You touched on Elijah Moore, who's apparently been killing it in camp. I'm a big Corey Davis fan, full disclosure. Think he'll be successful. You touched on the offense and how quarterback friendly it is. And I agree with all of those things. And I think Wilson's actually going to put together a solid rookie season. I think he's getting a little over-criticized in camp. I do think the Jets roster overall isn't bad, though I think the Jets will compete in every game next year, which is something they haven't done in a long, long time. But probably my reservation with Wilson and why I'm more maybe I have greater conviction that Lance, if he plays, will be in that conversation, and then Lawrence is just the fact that I still just don't think there's enough around Wilson for him to have the full stats, like the stats that with the efficiency where the touchdown interception ratio is pretty and all of that. I think that Wilson, might be like 25 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. He might make a lot of big time plays, and he might do enough things that make you very excited about what he's going to be. I'm very bullish on the idea of Zach Wilson as a future franchise quarterback. You definitely are. I just think that maybe the roster around him just isn't good enough yet for him to have the stats to show off that, he's the rookie of the year. And that's really why I prefer Lance and Lawrence. Lawrence more so because I just think he's the best quarterback of the 5. And then Lance because he's just in a situation where I think he can be highly efficient to go with being an excellent football player.
And I guess the Mekhi Becton thing, he actually hired a chef to help him with his weight. I don't think there was an issue there, but I guess the point being made, I think you pointed it out, Carl Lawson was just looking amazing. So I guess you can either look at it in two ways that or I guess the way to look at it if you're a Jets fan is that Carl Lawson is just going to be amazing this year. That's how you look at it. But yeah,
right.
I'm interested to see like which of these quarterbacks obviously does turn out to be the rookie of the year. And, maybe it's not. Maybe it is the tight end Kyle Pitts because he's walking into an offense where there's a lot of targets to go his way. And then Najee also could be really interesting too. I mean, his will
Jalen
be
Waddle.
more for value. Yeah, Waddle. We didn't even mention the receivers either. Waddle, obviously incredibly explosive, can make plays. Devonta Smith, they're going to be losing a lot. Maybe Hurts will get him the ball, and then Jamar Chase. I know there was the separation issue, but report that came out. But then the next day there was other reports that he was doing good. All I'll say is this: there's stuff with Zach Wilson where he had a really bad day. I want to say yesterday, and then today it came around that he actually did good. So I would just say don't take like one day for training camp and kind of run away with it, because there was also a Denzel Mims thing too, where he was working with lower teams and came out he had food poisoning and he lost weight. So all I'll say is just the Jets media is crazy. I think that's the bottom line, and there's a different storyline every day.
I mean, yeah. Do you remember like people were just glowing? Like Sam Darnold was anointed as basically the savior before he even played a game. People thought we're just like everything Sam Darnold was glowing with positivity. And we saw over the last 3 years, it was not that good with Sam Darnold. Now, it wasn't all his fault, but Darnold's play also cannot be excused because it was poor, right? So the training camp reports, yeah, they're fun. Yeah, it's awesome to see these top 5 quarterbacks just put together. With especially Lance and Fields, it feels like they're putting together every day. It's just a great day, great day, great day, great day, great day. But it's still, it's not everything just because we have to see it on the field in the regular season. I don't personally put as much stock into the preseason. I think it's a little bit. I think the preseason performance is a little bit overrated. Hence why we see a lot of guys that fans get attached to because of successful preseasons get cut by the regular season, because I don't think teams put too much stock into it either.
I mean, we have had some awesome stories though, like Victor Cruz. Dak Prescott was amazing in the preseason, and then there's like Tim Boyle for the Packers was awesome. Now he's on a team still, which is good for him, but he never really got a chance to play for us. But yeah, I mean,
the name I always go back to, and this as a Packers fan, Scott Tolzien was the preseason god as a quarterback, especially. Yeah, and Scott Tolzien was never a good NFL quarterback. And then another name, Niners fans will remember this, Lavelle Hawkins kicked butt in the preseason in 2014, and he was one of the first cuts for the Niners roster that year. A lot of people thought he would make it solely based on preseason performance. So
you just never know, I guess. But hey, we get to see Love. We get to see the 5 or 6 other quarterbacks. Davis Mills, he's coming out.
Yeah.
Davis Mills versus Love.
To put a bow on this topic before we go there, right? I picked Lance if he plays, Lawrence if Lance doesn't play enough, and you picked Wilson. Though we were really focused on the quarterbacks when a lot of receivers and obviously Kyle Pitts have a really good chance